My name is Angeline Meeks, and I am the conservation cartographer here at Archbold. And one of my main projects is the Florida Wildlife Corridor and the maps that I make for that. Before I talk to you about the maps, I want to give you a little background on the corridor. But while we're going over that, you'll see some of the types of maps that I make. So the corridor is a statewide network of nearly 18 million acres of land. And you can see here in this map, it stretches all the way from the very top corner of Florida in the Panhandle and comes all the way down through the Everglades. So as of 2021, nearly 10 million acres have already been conserved. Which means that they're protected from development. And you may not realize it, but you have probably been out into the corridor yourself before. And that's because these protected areas and conserved lands are made up of many of our state parks that we love to visit, national parks, forests, state forests, wildlife management areas. And so this map shows you a few examples. Now, the rest of the area that you see here in this bright green color, these are areas that we still need to protect. They are areas that we call opportunity areas. So they're areas that are potentially going to be developed one day. So we are hoping to conserve them and protect them as part of the wildlife corridor before that happens. And why do we want to do that? Because Florida has amazing wildlife that we want to protect. We want to make sure that they have enough habitat and that that habitat is connected. And so you can just see here some amazing photos that are from Carlton Ward Jr. and his camera trap photos that he has. And these are examples of the Florida black bear and the deer and bobcat and even a panther. So these are some of the animals that use either large areas of the corridor, or some, like the panther, only use smaller areas, like here in the south part of the corridor. So now I'll show you some of the types of maps that I make. For example, political maps. Now these are maps that we use to help decision makers, whether it's at the county level or the state level, help them understand the corridor in their area. We also make maps for the press. And so these are examples that were used in newspaper articles. Sometimes that is maps that show the full corridor through the state. And then sometimes it shows just a small area of the corridor. And we make maps for social media. So this map here that you'll see as I scroll up is for the Florida Wildlife Corridor expedition that happened recently called Spring to Shore. And this was a really special expedition because it featured a group of youth expedition leaders. And it shows them here in this photo with some of the original Florida Wildlife Corridor explorers that went out and did these amazing expeditions and spent 1,000 days out in the corridor moving through the state. So those videos, you can find them on YouTube, and they're just amazing. The youth expedition Spring to Shore will be coming out soon, so keep your eye out for that. And this map shows their expedition from Rainbow Springs all the way out to the Gulf of Mexico. Some of our maps are interactive, like this one here. It helps you find a place to explore in the corridor. So for example, say you wanted to do some fishing in the corridor, and maybe you wanted to go on a camping trip too. So when you select those two activities, It then shows you places in the corridor that you can do both of those things. For example, the Everglades, a great place to explore. And that's it for me.